So we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, 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 tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo! Today, I have a very amazing and fabulous guest, the one, the only Jay Canter of Streetlevel, Uprising. Jay, what's going on?
What's up, Sunshine? How you doing tonight?
Good. I am so happy to have you here with me tonight. It's been a really pretty good day today, a really great week, and I am ending this week with you. And I'm really stoked to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you bringing me on to chat with you for a bit.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Margie, what's up, girl? Jay, tell me where you're at.
I'm in Lawrence, Kansas, of all places.
Lawrence, Kansas.
Lawrence, Kansas, home of the Jayhawks. I'm not from here originally, but I've been out here for a while now, and that's where Streetlevel's based.
Awesome. So what do you guys do for fun in Kansas?
Right now, freeze our asses off. That's the time of year that we're in. Actually, these last few days have been really nice. It's been like 65, 70 degrees, but like just a couple of weeks ago, it was the coldest day I've ever seen since I've lived here. So, Lawrence is a college town, so there's a ton of music venues. There really is like a ton of things to do, considering it's not like a huge city. So it's cool. The people here are great, and just hanging out at music venues with friends is like the coolest thing I could do anyway, and I can do that right here.
Okay, well, now that you bring it up, you certainly haven't been hanging out at music venues for the past year, have you?
Definitely not. No, unfortunately. So
Okay.
yeah, I haven't done anything for fun in the last year.
What? You haven't done anything for fun in them? You must be doing something with your spare time.
Nah, that's not true, because being able to at least maintain creativity, like that's my jam anyway. That's how I want, like people like doing different things like skiing and bungee jumping and all that stuff. Like, nah, just like put me in a studio and let me work on some stuff, and like that's my joy anyway. So even though we couldn't do the shows, at least I still had that side of things.
Absolutely. And that is a common denominator with a lot of my guests, is that we are able to really like delve in deep to all our musical archives and really, start working on improving our chops and all these great, amazing things we can do when we have so much time on our hands. What is going on, Enrique? So Enrique's in the chat. He is from Ross Rebellion.
Yeah, and what's up, Enrique?
He and Jason had nothing but amazing things to say about you last night.
That's very cool. I got a lot of great things to say about them too. Those guys are awesome.
We got Margie, Eric, Lindsay, the whole fam bam, Andy Williams, Daniel Katsu. Hello, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We are interviewing Jay of Streetlevel Uprising tonight. So what music have you been working on the past year, Jay?
Well, it's been a while since we put an album out. This band works very slowly sometimes. It can take us a little while to put something together, but we have, I did demos for the next album. So right now the band's in the process of learning the tunes, and then we'll go and record them. And I think it's probably been 2.5 years since our last album came out, so we're definitely overdue. And I've been working on some other projects too, but that's really the main focus right now, is getting that done.
Awesome. I was looking at some of your videos earlier today on YouTube. They're a lot of fun. I have a question for you. Your hair is so long. It goes past your feet. How in the hell do you not trip over your hair?
Oh, I do trip over it. I do step on it, and I do hurt myself, and I do get it caught in car doors and drawers and all kind, like I've got to be like, I have to avoid like paper shredders and not get too close to campfires and fans. Like I can't ride a bicycle or a motorcycle. Like I got like a whole list of shit that I can't do, that like the whole freaking world can do, but not me. So yeah, I do step on it. I do break the ends off sometimes when I step on them over and over, and I have tripped on them. The dog will, I won't realize the dog's standing next to me and she's standing on them and I go to walk away. Like, yeah, a lot of different things happen.
Tell me what, I mean, is it worth it? It must be.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely worth it. Yeah.
And
This is who I am, you know?
And how do you keep up with it? I mean, is it like a ritual? Tell me all about your hair care routine.
I don't have to do too much, right? Like, so first of all, my hair, I have type 4 hair, so I don't have straight hair to begin with, right? So this is the result of me not doing anything with my hair. I didn't have to go get it done or keep up with it. Really, I wash it a few times a week. Do a little maintenance if you know, when hairs break and stuff like that. But really, it's surprisingly low maintenance for hair that's like 6 feet long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And how do you keep your bandmates from stepping on your hair?
Yeah, also a difficult thing to do. I also, like, I haven't, you would think that, like, I've had this hair for like, I don't know, like 22 years now or something crazy like that, right? And you would think that by now I really know how to manage it without stepping on it, without, like, without getting tangled in it while I sleep. Like, it's or especially on stage where it's like I start with it kind of tied up, but by like the third, so like gravity happens, right? So like by the third song, it's all down and I have to be careful. I'm not stepping on it and I'm not getting too close to everybody else. It's it can be a challenge for sure.
Yeah, wow. We got Wiz Fire from Ross Rebellion. What's up, Wiz Fire? Yeah, Lindsay just asked how long have you been growing it? So over 20 years.
Yeah, I think January 99 was the last time I ever cut my hair, and that's how long it's been.
Wow, that's super fucking cool. Yeah, dude, hats off. That's amazing. I could only wish that my hair would grow like that. What is Margie says, I'd be strangling myself in bed if I had hair that long. Yeah, I think a lot of us probably think that way. Jason Perry, what's up? Ross Delegato in the house. We have the whole Ross Rebellion family.
Awesome. I love those guys.
Very cool. Jay, so let's talk a little bit about your podcast. So I was actually a guest on your podcast a couple of weeks ago, and now the tables have turned and now I get to grill you. Let's talk a little bit about it, the idea, who you've been interviewing.
Yeah, I started it. This is one, like a lot of us musicians started things in 2020 when we couldn't do all the things we normally do, right? So at a time, you know, it becomes like the first summer in my life that I didn't play any shows, you know, and you start thinking, what am I going to do with myself? Like, yeah, I've got writing to do. I got to work on the next album, but like, I got to do more than that too. And I had started right around the time the pandemic hit. I had started doing kind of a reggae history thing on Facebook Live, you know, because I got to the point where I was like, I'm older now. Like I'm old in this scene now, and I see there's a generation after me who doesn't know a whole lot about the old school, and I'm out of touch. I don't know a whole lot about the new school. So let me start bringing the old school to the new school, and then learning new school stuff myself and really getting involved in that. So that was my first thing that I was doing. And from there, it was like, yeah, eventually I want to graduate to interviewing people, and started doing that. And shout out to Michelle and Teresa who hooked us up, and they've gotten me a lot of the people that I've had on my show. I'm very grateful to them for that. And I love talking with people. The only two things that I really talk to anybody about are music and sports. I'm kind of completely empty aside from that. So if I can sit and talk to somebody for an hour about music, it's like, it doesn't get any better than that for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason says that your reggae history talks are super informative. If you guys have not checked them out, you are missing out.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
We will definitely drop the link to those talks in the comment section when I am done with this, so that everybody can check them out. Everybody is complimenting on your podcast style, your great conversational interviews. Teresa's in the comment saying she loves your podcast.
Hey, Teresa, love you.
Aaron Kishman, that hair is power and baller.
That's my dude. That's my dude right there. Aaron is my oldest friend. Like, I like that dude. when I first moved to Florida, I was just shy of my 11th birthday, and he walked across the street like, "Yo, let's hang out." And that dude's been my best dude ever since. I love that man.
Hell yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Aaron. Thank you for supporting your brother always.
Yep, he always does. 100% support.
That's what's up. It's so nice to have friends like that. Those are the best kind of friends to have. Let's talk. I know that you guys recently started working with a new booking and management company.
We did. Yes, we
Can we
did.
talk a little bit about that?
We could talk about Wisdom Warriors and what they're trying to bring to the scene. And you know, if you don't know Streetlevel, like what we do lyrically is a little bit different from most bands. We're 100% conscious, and sometimes even militant consciousness. So we go a little bit far with it sometimes. But what Michelle and Teresa are really trying to bring to the scene is just this beautiful consciousness. And I'm proud to be working with people who care so much about music and care so much about the people in the reggae scene that they're willing to help us out is just really cool. Really
Oh
cool.
yeah, that is awesome. So you were said that Streetlevel is very conscious. Let's talk
Yeah.
about your songwriting process, your inspiration for what you write.
hmm My, I write two types of songs. I write songs that kind of celebrate life. You know what I mean? I don't. There's not a. There's no like romantic love in our music, and I love that stuff, but that's just not what I write. You know. Um, so maybe a quarter or a third of the tunes are like just kind of a celebrate life type thing. You know. And the rest of them are pretty hardcore militant consciousness and with the themes of things like, you know, anti-racism, anti-sexism, and just it's we don't like to say political because you're never going to hear Streetlevel say vote for this person, vote for that person. Not what we do. It's more of a human rights thing, and it's more of a uniting around human rights and letting go of all that other stuff and saying like, yo, there's things that are messed up that we could all be working towards. So I don't want to do a divisive thing. It's just about here's a list of the stuff that pisses me off. It probably pisses you off too. And you know, maybe we can all get together and do something
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great formula for writing music. Let's talk about the importance of music and how it affects your audience. Is that something that you take very seriously? I am
about it. Yeah.
assuming so.
I take it very seriously to the point where sometimes I agonize over what I'm writing about because I don't want to alienate anyone either, you know. I'm also extremely conscious of the fact that um, bands that do what we do, there's not a lot of us, and there's a reason for that. It's not financially incentivized. Let's say it's like you don't do what we do if you're hoping to make a ton of money. It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like there's not a calling. If you think of like fully conscious bands, it's like there's not a lot that have gone over. So as a business decision, probably not the right one. So I agonize over that sometimes because I still want music to be accessible to people. I don't want anyone to feel alienated. So even though I'm trying to say what I want to say, I try to make the music, the melodies a little more accessible to hopefully bring in people who might not normally be into what we're
And let's talk about your huge grand band. I mean, you guys have a trumpet player, a
doing. Yeah.
saxophone player, keys, guitars. I mean, how did you guys all come together?
Well, it started but before Streetlevel. My bass player Bill, he's also my brother-in-law. We've known each other since high school. We've played together. This is the third band we've played together in. And me and him and our keyboard player Zay, we were playing in another band. And that band kind of stagnated. And I said, I got a bunch of tunes, just going to record a bunch of acoustic tunes, right? And then I kind of invited them and a couple other guys to come over and add stuff. So there was an album before there was a band. So we started off kind of an acoustic reggae type of thing. Acoustic. It was even a little bit more eclectic than it is now. And from there, we just kind of grew. Then we grew into, you know, a half electric, half acoustic band, and then more electric. And then we added a hand percussionist and we added horn players and like just kind of a very organic, very slow growth. I mentioned before, This band makes progress extremely slowly, but it's grown to what it is now. And this is the band I've wanted like my whole life, as far as the horn players, and like it's joy it's pure joy to play with this band. It's ridiculous. I love it so much.
There's really something to be said about playing with a full band behind you, with horns, brass, and saxophones or whatever you have. Like, just having that full sound, it's really fucking beautiful. Andy Williams, thanks for hanging out. Margie, we love all the instrumentals and all the instruments put together too. Aaron says he loves the horns and the bongos. How, and you did mention how it is kind of hard financial wise to keep a band that size together. And it does say a lot about your love for the music, because you're not doing it for the money, you're doing it for the message.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do a lot of solo shows because, there are financial considerations. Like, I still have to make money, right? So I do a lot of solo shows that helps out with that too, but there's no comparison. Me sitting with an acoustic guitar and the power of this 7-piece band, it's like, it's not even the same sport. You know what I mean? It's like, I love doing that too, but it's nothing. And people, our first 2 albums, the second album that we did, we had horns on like 3 tracks. And everybody who's known us since the early days, they all say the same thing. And they're all like, no offense, man, like, we liked you before, but the horn players is like, it's like, no, like, you're not gonna offend me. Like, I totally get it. It's next level shit with the horn players. It's completely different.
Have you ever seen the Manu Chao Radio La Bemba live concert?
Yes.
Holy shit. Like, that is the epitome of a fucking like rock reggae band with I think they have like a 20-piece horn section.
Yeah.
And they all have like choreographed moves, and like they're doing the whole fucking dude. Yes, and yes. I love Manu Chao. I've seen them I think 3 times in concert and blew my mind each time. My mom is here in the comments. Hi, Mom. She says that you guys need to get a tuba player because she loves tuba so much. I play tuba.
That would be all right. It's funny because the bigger the band, like, you need specific musicians in those big bands. Like you're talking about Manu Chao. The more people you have, the less they all can play. And it's not like, a lot of musicians want to get up and wail, and it's like, you need people who play their role. And in reggae, it works out a lot because that's the way the music is built, right? Like, the music is built in those pieces. You can't have people overplaying on it. Like, you can't, right? So it works better in reggae, but the more people you have, it's like everybody has to do their thing, and you can't have freelancers just be trying to just go nuts out there. So you got to have the right musicians for that. And I'm fortunate that we're all very unselfish, and I love them.
Yeah, it's important. It's important when you're in a successful band you can't be selfish. You can't have ego. You have to stay very humble. And you have to know your place. And your place in a band is equal to everybody else.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. What helps for us is like I've known, like, I go back with Bill like decades, right? And I've known Zate for like 50. Like, we've known each other so long that the ego thing couldn't happen in this band, because when you know people that from childhood, they will slap you down when you when you get out of line. Like, so there can't, like, I can't get lead singer disease because Bill would just look at me like, shut up. So that's the beauty of playing with people you've known for so long, is they don't let that fester. They'll knock you on your ass.
So let's talk about music you listen to that people wouldn't suspect you listen to.
Oh, I like that. I like, obviously, reggae is my first love. I love funk. We got to talk about some funk when you were on my show. There are I love a lot of jazz. I'm not that into rock, but there are some rock bands that if I like a rock band, I love them. Living Color, which is, to me, is like one of the greatest hard rock bands ever, and they should be like just the most famous band. I love cats like Billy Bragg. I love great songwriters. So I love a great pop song when I hear it. I love Prince. I love, like, it's that love for music. When I hear something I love, it doesn't matter what genre it is, right? But I have a tendency to go towards people who are a little bit different, a little bit more creative, and not the bands that kind of come out and sound like other bands. Like I like originators. I love original people. I love creative original people. And any genre, and I'm down. I'm gonna listen.
So, what are your thoughts about Donnie Wahlberg from the New Kids on the Block?
I'm not sure that I have any thoughts on Donnie Wahlberg really. I loved him in The Sixth Sense. I thought he was like when I saw it was like oh my god man, like this dude, like right.
Oh
But
my
I
God,
don't.
most
Yeah,
people do not
yeah,
know Donnie Wahlberg came out in The Sixth
yeah.
Sense.
Oh my god, he was so good. He was so
Okay,
good.
let
Yeah.
me tell you what I am doing for Donnie Wahlberg. So, I am building an underground bunker. I'm going to kidnap him, place him in my bunker for my own safekeeping, okay, to keep him far away from Jenny or whatever the hell her name is, okay?
I
It's
think that
something
is
that's
her
been
name.
in
Yeah.
the it's been in the works for a while, Jay. So I had to get
Okay.
your opinion on Donnie Wahlberg.
Well, now you're not just asking my opinion. Now I'm accessory.
No, no, it's okay. Everybody
I'm an
knows.
ex. I'm
Everybody
an
knows.
access. So we're all accessories to this now.
Yes, you all can
You've
thank me
dragged us
later.
all.
You all can thank me later when I'm live streaming it. Okay, it's all good, you guys. I'm gonna get him to sing for
Uh,
us, everything.
and we'll be like we didn't think she was actually going to do it, but there you go.
Oh no, I'm dead on serious, dude. I've been building this bunker for a minute. I tell everybody that asks who influenced you to start music. Okay, yes, my mother did. Thank you, Ma. I see you in the comments. But Donnie Wahlberg played the drums for New Kids on the Block. That's why Sonny C wanted to play the drums. They put my ass on the tuba. Not fair, people.
Yeah, unfortunately, early on we don't always get the first instrument that we choose, right? I played French horn for 2 months. I did that when I was in elementary school. 2 months. Yep.
Whoa, French horn is the hardest instrument to play.
That's why I only played it for 2 months.
Did you pick that?
I honestly don't remember. I think it was probably like third grade or fourth grade. And I really don't remember how I ended up with it, but I do remember thinking, that looks cool. I'd like to play that. And then I actually tried playing it. It was like, yo, like this is like I'm in elementary school. Like, no, like, no, no. Like no
Yeah.
kid should be handed a French horn like that. And I was too young. I was too young.
We should start a foundation, Kids Against French Horns. Why they gotta do it to the kids? Like nobody deserves to be put. Yeah, nobody deserves that.
Yeah, no, really. And that was, I mean, technically that was my first instrument. So, but it didn't ruin music for me because I came back around years later and I learned instrument I did want to play. So yeah, it worked out. Worked out.
It absolutely worked out. Let's talk a little bit about when you started playing music. Who influenced you? Why did you start?
It was actually kind of when I first started playing guitar, because like that was like the start of like French horn aside. Like my dad was a jazz drummer and he quit playing professionally when I was born. But when we were living in Philly, he was always in the basement and he was down there doing his thing. And it was like, that's pretty cool. And one day when I was like 11, my parents came to me. They're like, would you want to learn an instrument? And I was kind of like, I guess. Like, so there was no like passion from the get go. It was like, all right, that sounds cool. And they're like, what do you want to learn? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe guitar. I'd never thought about it before, but it was like, I'll try guitar. And it was like, I got it in my hands and I started plinking around. And then I saw Jimi Hendrix and I went, okay, this is what you can do. Not what I can do with it, but this is what can be done with this instrument. And so my dad was an influence, getting into Jimi Hendrix and Bob Marley at an early age. I mean, like that's, and then having really great music teachers. I went to performing arts high school
Oh, nice.
and got schooled, got the music theory. I had some great teachers there who really influenced me.
Let's
And
talk a little bit more
yeah,
about that. I always wanted to
yeah,
go to a magnet school, Mom, when I was in high school, but it was too far away from where I lived. It was like
mhm,
in El Paso. It was just too far for me. How was that? Was that like the most amazing fucking thing in your life when you were that age? Like, oh my
yeah.
God.
It was great. I didn't want to go to the high school I was slated to go to because I lived in a town where I didn't get along with a whole lot of people, aside from my man Aaron. Shout out again. And it wasn't really my scene. And so I was looking at magnet schools and I was like, well, hey, I could play this, like this one has arts. Like I could play guitar there. Like I could take a guitar with me to school every day. And like my classes would be like playing guitar and jazz band and rock band and music there. Like, yes, yes, let's do this. So it was intense. It was beautiful. Um, I'm so thankful. I don't use music theory every day, but I do use it. It does come, and I'm so grateful for learning that, and grateful for the music teachers who pushed me. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely a dream to be a teenager, guitar player, and go to a school like that. It's like, man, come on, like doesn't get any better than that.
Wow, that's so fucking cool. So then after the magnet school, what was your progression after that?
Well, I went to the local college, and I wanted to do music education. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a music teacher, but I thought, hey, I'm in music. If I can get this degree, I've got that. Plus, I'm learning more about music. This is win-win. Um, but when I went in, they were like, we don't have a jazz guitar. I wanted to do jazz. I didn't want to do classical. And they're like, we don't really have a jazz guitar teacher, but I'll tell you what, do classical for your first year, and then we'll pay a tutor to come in and do jazz guitar just with you.
Oh
And I
wow.
was like, that's cool. Never thought of playing classical guitar. Don't really want to, but let's try to be a well-rounded musician, right? I'll try anything once. Let's do this. I got done with that year. I didn't really enjoy it, but I was like, man, I said I would do it. I did it. And I'm like, okay, year two, let's get going with the jazz program. And they were like, well, we were kind of hoping you'd want to continue with the classical. And I went, y'all are going to ruin music for me. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to switch majors to psychology, which I did, because I felt, you know what? You're not going to squeeze the joy out of the one. Like music to me is like this pure thing, right? You're not going to squeeze that joy out of me. I would rather go to school for something else to continue my studies and still play music and love doing it. And so that's what I did. So I only did music in college for, I guess it was a year. And bummer. I did enjoy it, but I wasn't going to keep going with the classical route. I just didn't want to do that. And I was going through a crazy time in my life, so I never really thought about going to a different school, going away. Like I had a bunch of crazy stuff going on, and like a lot of kids, you don't really think things through. I could only see what was right in front of me. So, I made a lot of bad decisions when I was younger. I don't know if that's one of them, but that's the way it happened, and I'm still alive, so whatever.
Well, and you got your psychology degree, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't finish that either.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I
Fuck it.
majored in it. Yeah, I majored in it. Another is, like a series of bad decisions where I dropped out to support myself. I had to go full time at work to support myself, and they weren't going to let me. They weren't going to give me the time I needed to go to college. So rather than get a different job, I stopped going to college, which is one of the dumber things I've done. But that's youth. I wasn't smart. What are you gonna do?
Well, you know what, Jay? At least you don't have, and maybe you do, nobody's judging you either way, but at least you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans to pay back. So you're good. You are good.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a toss up. I have nothing to pay off, so that's
Lynn says, do you use your psych? I'm sure you do in a daily basis. You're probably always analyzing people based on everything that you learned in college.
Yeah, yes and no. Like what I use psychology for is just to get along with people better. You know what I mean? Like I don't try to I don't try to judge people. I don't try to manipulate. Like you can get into some manipulative stuff with that side. Like I did behavioral psychology because I thought that was like mind-blowingly fascinating. It was cool. We even got like pet rats and we had to like train them to do stuff. Like it was awesome. Like I loved behavioral psychology.
Oh, did you get to keep the rats and take them home for pets?
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. So each group of 3 had its own rat, and we did all this stuff. And at the end of the semester, the professor goes, take your rats home or they're snake food. And I looked at the two people in the group with me. I'm like, either of y'all want a rat? And they were like, no, hell no. And I was like, shit, I'm taking a rat home. Because like I understand snakes got to eat rats and stuff, but like I taught this dude to do stuff. We taught him to dunk a basketball, like a little tiny basketball through a little tiny hoop. And like after that, I don't go, sorry, bud. It's circle of life, buddy.
Oh
I took
my
it. Yeah.
God,
I
Jay.
took him home and I had him for 2 years. I had that rat in a cage for 2 years.
Did we just become best friends? You want to meet my pig? I don't always introduce him to everybody, but I feel like you probably want to meet him. Let's see. Oh, I got to turn my light on. His name is Oliver Edgar William Nelson Cantu to the first power.
Nice.
Let's see. Can you see him? Kind of.
Yeah.
There he
Hey,
is.
bud.
He has my jacket on right now.
Aw.
He always hangs out with me during my live streams. He's like my biggest fan.
Awesome.
I brought him home when he was 20 pounds, and now he weighs over 200 pounds.
Wow. How old is he?
He is like 2.5 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But
Very
he's
cool.
my sweet baby, and I love him so much. He has an Instagram, so everybody go follow him on Instagram at Pleasure Point Pig.
How did I not know this until now?
Well, now you know, because now we're best friends.
Right on.
Okay, let's see some of these comments. Hey guys, thank you all for hanging out with us. My mom says, "Are you happy with your choices, Jay? And what's next?"
Yes. I'll tell you why I don't regret those decisions, because everything I've done in my life has brought me to this point, right? So like when I was a kid, I was a hockey player and I was pretty good. But again, I wasn't mentally sound enough to go play college hockey, which is what I really wanted to do. But when I got to be like a junior in high school, my brain started leaving. And so I didn't get to do that. If I had gone away to play college hockey, I wouldn't have met all the people I've met. I wouldn't have my family. So I feel like every decision I've ever made in my life has brought me to this point, and I'm pretty freaking happy with who I am and the people I surround myself with. So the only thing in life I would ever regret is hurting people or something like that. I don't regret those decisions because I'm thrilled to be with the people I'm with in my life right now. I might have missed out on all of them, or at least some of them.
Oh, I feel like I interrupted. We were talking about the rat in psychology, and then I got all excited about Oliver. I feel like I interrupted something that we were talking about, and now I don't remember.
I don't remember that at all. So we can just move forward.
Aaron wants to know, what are your favorite venues to play large stages and basement bars?
Right now, I'm going to say large stages because we haven't played on a whole lot of those. So I'm going to have to, I've played on a whole lot of tiny stages where not even our whole band can really fit on it. I've played a lot of the bars and clubs, but haven't played on a lot of big stages. So I'm going to say that. But at the same time, them dank little music clubs are the coolest places on the planet. And when you walk in and it smells like stale beer and piss, and you go, I'm home. And you go in the bathroom and there's no doors on the stalls and there's no toilet paper and you go, well, whatever, this is the life I've chosen. So I love it all, but it would be cool. I do like the big stages because I like to move. Like you and I talked about that, about performing, right? This is entertainment, right? This is what we do. And you let the spirit of the music take over you and you use the stage, right? That's what you do. I've seen you do it. I know you do it.
I do it.
Yeah, you can't do that on a tiny stage. So I do like the big stages because you get to move a little bit more.
Yeah, I have a funny, no, it's not funny. It's an entertaining bar story. I'll make it quick and short. One time we were playing in San Marcos and I went into the bathroom and there is this chick naked because she had a romper on, one of those like one pieces that you pull up. Well, I guess she was in the middle of trying to pull it up, and she like fell over, hit her head on the damn sink, and like busted her head open and passed out. So I walk into the bathroom to this naked, bloody chick, and I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? I get her up and she starts going crazy. She's like running around trying to get away from me. Like, dude, it was the most bizarre but entertaining. I mean, bless her heart, she's fine.
Yeah, good. That's the,
That's why, women don't, drink whiskey and fucking wear a one-piece romper to the bar. Those are not good decisions to make.
Yeah, and it's also, playing those shows, it's definitely a situation where there's a little more alcohol consumption than the average, social event. So yeah, it's like these things happen. They happen. There's definitely we all have crazy stories. We all have horror stories. We all have wild stories. It's like you go, yes, this is the business we've chosen.
Hey, and those are all the stories that will be in our books that we end up writing later down the line, right?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Andrew Hunn says, Stell, beer, and piss, you must be describing the bottleneck in Lawrence. One of my favorites.
Yeah, Andrew knows that venue very well, as do we. It's definitely one of my favorite places I've ever played. And the bottleneck has this history. All right, so when it's called the bottleneck because it's a long, thin room, right?
Okay.
And stage is great, sounds great, whatever. Every band ever has played at the bottleneck starting in the mid 80s. And when you walk in, there's stickers. There's a Radiohead sticker there from when Radiohead first came through Lawrence, Kansas, and played. Like the people, everybody has coming up their first tour or second tour. Every freaking musician who's come through Lawrence has played the bottleneck, and it's like 35 years of history in this place. And they have photos of so many of the bands that have played there, and it's like it's just this beautiful history. And yeah, like Andrew said, stale beer and piss, it's definitely my type of venue.
There's just something about those bars, you can't get that smell out of there.
Yeah, no, it don't come out. It don't come out.
Territory. Let's see. Yeah. Ross Delegato says, what do you mean, Sonny? We always go to the bar wearing rompers. Of course you guys do. Unbelievable.
That's why we love you.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about your favorite albums. You got like a top 3 favorite albums you can throw at me?
Top 3 favorite. It's so tough to pick 3. Because it's like the second you start thinking about that, like 50 albums jump into your head, right?
It's true.
And that the albums I think about, it's also hard not to name 3 Bob Marley albums, which is like that's the cliche for us, right? Like Bob, but like he was that good of a songwriter that you could easily just say, okay, Catch a Fire, Burnin', like you could name any of those. I'm a huge Steel Pulse fan, so I could name any of their albums. I'll give a shout out to Steel Pulse for their 2 most recent albums. And especially Mass Manipulation, which came out a couple of years ago, brilliant, and African Holocaust. To hear Steel Pulse, this is a band that's been around since like the mid 70s. And for them to still be putting out albums that are this good, it's like other bands that started in the 70s are not still putting out albums this good. So shout out to Steel Pulse. I would take any of their albums. We can go outside of reggae. I can pick The Reality of My Surroundings by Fishbone. You know what a big Fishbone fan I am.
Yes, I do.
So yeah, so we'll say The Reality of My Surroundings, which another one of my favorites. Living Color, I mentioned before. Vivid is a great album. I could do this all night, just go over albums that are my favorites. I could name any Peter Tosh album, especially the earlier ones. We could go on.
Okay, well, those are good choices. What's up, Scully Smith? How you doing tonight? What's up, Mama? She says, we're doing an amazing and awesome interview. My mama is the hugest supporter of the Sunshine Show. Awesome. And the reason why I'm doing music today.
That's great. It's so great to have support from your parents, you know?
Oh, I love her so much. I got to interview my brother like last month, and it was absolutely hilarious. And I'm gonna do the dating game with him next time, but I would love to interview my mom. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That would be fun. You should definitely have her on.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so let's talk about movies. What do you like to watch on your spare time, if you get spare time?
I do. I try to make spare time. It's usually like after the kids go to bed. Like that's like the golden 90 minutes of the day, right? Is like when we can sit down and just do something that doesn't involve children. I typically prefer comedies. I don't get into dramas. Um, I'm kind of wrapped up in all the horrible things in the world on a daily basis. So it's like I need to deprogram, and I can't. And seeing dramas where like there's like, you know, children dying and like nah, like I'm not like no, not doing it. I want to watch stupid ass goofy comedies, and I also like horror movies. So like I'll do those, but like if it's a tearjerker, like nah, like I don't want to cry. Please don't make me cry. I don't want to cry. Can't do
Oh,
it. Can't do it.
what is that song by Tech Nine? Fragile. We're like, we're fragile. We're
Yeah.
sensitive about our shit. We're
Yeah.
artists. That's what we do. But
Yeah, and Tech Nine from Kansas City. So shout out to Tech Nine.
oh, really? That
Yeah.
is so fucking dope. My
Yeah.
friend Kyle Smith, I interviewed him a while back, and he said his number one person he'd want to collaborate with is Tech Nine. And I interviewed David Pistorius, which is Jaco Pistorius' nephew, and he actually played bass with Tech Nine on tour
Oh,
a
cool.
couple of years back. Yeah, so that was super.
Cool.
So I had no idea what a small world it is.
Small world, yeah.
Okay, so you like comedies and you like horror movies. You don't
Yep.
like dramas. Are you
Yeah.
one of these people that watches the news every day?
Nah, I'm resentful that the last 4 years made me pay attention to politics a lot more than I ever wanted to. I don't, and it's like no matter whether you're for or against or any of this stuff, we all had to pay more attention to it than we wanted to. You know what I mean? It's like so like I feel burned out on the news and all that, and I do pay attention to things that are going on. I never want to be out of touch with what's going on in life. But I really don't want to get full into it on a daily basis. It's painful. It's
It's
painful.
very stressful. It really fucking is. It's like,
If you care, this stuff hurts.
yeah.
If you don't give a shit, fine. But if you care, all of these things that happen in the world are painful. And there's like that meter where I go, oh, reached it, time to put on a stupid movie and do something else.
Do you have a funny movie that you could suggest for us that you've watched recently?
Yeah, I like I don't I like movies from every era. So like I'll do anything from watching like Marx Brothers movies all the way up through any stupid comedies that are coming out today. I'm looking forward to Coming to America 2 coming out because that's been one of my jams since I was a kid. I love Mel Brooks movies and like I don't know if it's funny, I'm probably down.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite like comedian actor?
Not specifically. There's some, I mean, Eddie Murphy's great. I mentioned him Coming to America.
Chris Farley. Oh my god.
Like Tommy Boy's one of the greatest movies ever, right? I mean, like let's be real, like he's yeah. Yeah, like those type of cats. I'm not as much into Adam Sandler. Although I loved Happy Gilmore. I loved Waterboy. So some Sandler movies I really like. But yeah, like if it's a funny movie, if I'm probably gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, that's really good. I myself love horror. I don't know what, especially lately, just all and everything that I can see horror I'm into. Comedy, if it's a really good comedy, sure. But I should probably watch more comedy. So I'm gonna take your advice, even though you didn't know you were given advice.
I don't give advice. I just say a bunch of stuff. So So let's talk about your favorite horror movies.
Oh
We
shit.
gotta
Okay.
talk about that. We gotta talk about
Okay. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Number one.
Oh my God. I love that movie so much that me and my boy Tom was a bass player in my first band, still one of my best friends. Love you, Tommy. Me and him were in our first band together and we watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I ripped off a riff from the music that's going through and I put it in one of our songs. It's not exactly the same, but I ripped the shit out of that riff and put it in one of our first songs that we wrote with our first band. We were like 15 years old. Love me some Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Everybody, if you haven't seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, even if you're not a horror fan, whatever, go see that movie. As soon as this is done, go see Killer Clowns from Outer Space and then come and talk to us.
And then you can come and talk to us.
Yes.
So Killer Clowns was actually like film portions of it here in Santa Cruz, which is like phenomenal because I've always fucking loved Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Okay, another movie, Lost Boys, was fucking filmed here in Santa Cruz.
That was filmed there too. I know that.
Dude.
Nice.
And then I would have to say my third top horror movie is Pan's Labyrinth. Not a lot of people know about it. It's a Del Toro movie. What is the name? Benicio or what?
No, it's not Benicio. It's somebody on the comments help us out. Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo
mom, del Toro.
Dude, my mom over here just dropped Spaceballs. Okay, Spaceballs is not a horror movie.
No, she's still on comedy, but my kids, I introduced that movie to my kids and they love that movie. My kids are walking around here quoting Spaceballs all day. Because I'm that good of a parent.
Oh my God. What's up, Megan Richardson? Girl, I've been seeing you. She says she only watched subtitled movies. Only subtitled movies I'll watch. Is that because Pan's Labyrinth it's in Spanish, so it is like subtitles. Lost Boys is legendary. What's up, Mar Hill? Oh, that's my boy. Oh, my mom's Hairspray. Yes, I did love Hairspray back in the day. Me and my best friend knew all the dance moves to Hairspray. Did you not know the dance moves to Hairspray? You're looking at me like you didn't also.
I've never even seen Hairspray. Never seen it. I know.
Oh my God, what? As soon as we get off of here, you gotta watch Hairspray.
That's I will. I promise you I will. But I'm like, there's also a lot of things that I'm really slow to get to and things that I like everybody knows but me. Like that happens to me a lot. And Hairspray is one of those things. Everybody's seen it but me.
Well,
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. You know, we don't judge here at the Sunshine Show.
And I appreciate that.
No judgment here. So the producer of the movie or director, whatever the fuck, is Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro, right.
The guy, he comes out with the eyeballs on his hands and he's real creepy.
Yeah. It's super creepy. That movie is super creepy.
But it's so fucking badass though, dude. I could watch it like over and over. They stab the guy in the eye. Mm-hmm. That's not my favorite part. It's actually, I look away every time, but it's a part of the movie. So anybody that's gonna watch that movie, just be aware there's some stabbing in the eye at one point. All right, moving past that, those are my top 3 favorite horror movies for you guys. I hope you all watch them. Oh, Interview with the Vampire is a close runner-up. No, did you not watch Interview with the Vampire?
I did actually. I saw it twice in the theater. I actually went to see it twice. Yeah.
So you liked it that much? You went 2 times?
No, that was for a woman. I was young and my girlfriend wanted to see it more than once. So, fellas, I mean, you know,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do the right things. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do the right thing. So.
Absolutely. Now, this is a ladies' man, married with beautiful children, and he would definitely watch any movie, any drama, any kind of movie for his woman at least 3 times.
I would, and I'm very happy that Joanna's not into, like, she and I have similar tastes in, like, there's a couple things I watch that she doesn't, and vice versa. She's not into horror movies, but we got plenty in common that we can watch things that we both like, so it works out well.
Very, very, very cool. Awesome. So let's talk about this really quick.
Hmm.
If you could throw a dinner party and invite any 5 musicians, dead or alive, I like that dance move. Dead or alive, who would you invite and what would you serve them?
All right. So it's like you want to just say some of your favorite singers straight off. You know what I mean? But can I do it more like I'm putting together a band?
Yeah.
Can I do it more? Can I do it more like that? I would. Bob would be there, obviously. Jimi Hendrix would be there. Miles Davis for sure. Miles Davis, one of my biggest musical influences. I can't like. I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
What are you
Um,
gonna do? I mean, it's Miles
yeah,
Davis.
yeah. Okay. In the middle of this thing, I'm already gonna change from the whole band thing because I would need David Hines of Steel Pulse to be there, and I'm also gonna throw out. I'm gonna throw Norwood Fisher in there too.
Ooh.
And I'm saying that, but I actually did get to talk. I got to interview Norwood when I was a teenager, so I've already actually spoken with him. But I'm gonna just. I could pick 50 different people to throw in here. I'm gonna go with those 5.
Okay.
What am I gonna serve? I'm gonna serve something. I'm gonna serve some Indian food just because I love Indian food. So there you
Ooh.
go.
Do you cook Indian food or do you
No,
order?
no, no, hell no. I'm the farther away from a kitchen I get, the better. My mom was a brilliant cook growing up. Joanna's an excellent cook. Bill, our bass player, is a chef. He's the bomb. With all these people, I don't belong anywhere near a kitchen. Scrambled eggs is about my culinary expertise. So I will not be cooking. This will be a catered event by professionals.
You only make scrambled eggs. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Well, what am I going to do? So like, I'm just going to drive these 5 people away. If I cook, they'd be like, "What? You invited us here for this?" Like, nah, nah. Pros have to handle this.
Teresa says the dreads keep them out. Keep them out of the kitchen? Oh, that's true. You got to be real careful with those dreads in the kitchen.
No one wants to find a 6 foot hair in their food either, right? I know. I understand.
Dude, one time I was at my friend's house and I swear to God, this is a true ass story. She has a basket of chips, right? Of tortilla chips and like salsa. And we're like sitting around, I think playing cards or whatever. I go to grab a chip and I swear to God, there was a fucking press on nail in the chip basket and I about
Oh,
died. I'm like,
yeah, that's
who lost their nail and didn't realize it?
yeah, that's none of us want that to happen. None of us want that. Uh, yeah, that's no good.
That's
That's
a
no
real
good.
issue. What? Oh my God. Oh, Megan says, what would your wife cook then?
Um, I love. She makes some. We're kind of we don't eat. So my like my diet's pretty specific, and anyone. So I eat ITAL, right? So I'm trying like mostly vegetarian. Other things I do slip in. So years ago I was grossly overweight, right? And I started learning about nutrition and stuff, and I realized how little protein I was getting. It's like, all right, if I'm going to get in shape, I need to eat more protein. And I was a total vegetarian at the time and said, let me start eating a little bit of chicken, some fish to get some of this protein. And so I changed the nutrition, and it's tough. It can be tough sometimes, especially with having kids, to find something we can all eat. So I eat a little bit more chicken and fish, or chicken for sure, than I'd like. But I will say, Joanna makes amazing jerk chicken. If you're ever in the neighborhood, let me know. I'll see if I can talk her into making some. Uh, she makes just everything she makes is great, but I'd go with the jerk chicken because that's like everybody loves jerk chicken, right? So it's
Yes,
delicious.
yes. If you
Delicious.
eat chicken, you will love jerk a chicken.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Lindsay here has a story for us. She says that there was a centipede in her club sandwich at Denny's when she was a kid.
That'll keep you from eating at Denny's, I guess.
Fun
Like,
fact, everybody,
yeah,
I used to work at Denny's when I was 16. Boy, was
awesome.
that a riot.
It's like if you've never been in a Denny's between the hours of like midnight and 5, you are in for a treat.
Dude, I worked the motherfucking what is it? The overnight shift. I was the one that worked the midnight to 7 shift.
Oh, yeah,
It was the
that's
best.
yeah. That's where I remember our first band. That's where we, after gigs, that's where we always ended up. We always ended up at Denny's. It was the only place open. It was Denny's and IHOP. So we would like alternate. And like the things you see in a Denny's at 2 a.m. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, dude, I have stories, but we'll save those for the book so that you guys buy my book when I put it out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for these stories.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. And this is no, yeah, these are deep stories with yeah. Anyways, it's like the bar scene in Star Wars after midnight. Exactly.
It really and truly is. It really is. Yeah.
That's when they dine and dash. That's hilarious. Marhill, what are you doing?
The only time I've ever walked out of a restaurant without paying was a Denny's. And it was that after we got our food, no one ever came back to our table. And we couldn't find, it was like the place was deserted. We were the only people in there. We couldn't find anyone.
No, it's because they were doing drugs in the
yeah, it was like they just fucking like they left, right? Like they quit. They were gone. And it's like, well, like we're not gonna get a check. Who am I gonna hand money to? Like we just gotta go. And that was it. That was a Denny's.
Dude, I am dying. My mom goes, I hate to eat food from different restaurants. Sonny, you would go high to Denny's. It's true, people. I would get really, really high and go to work, and I could not function for hours at a time. It was not a good look for me. Thanks, Ma. Thanks, Ma, for putting that out there. I appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing up old stuff.
Oh my God, you guys, we're having a great time tonight with Jay of Streetlevel Uprising. If you are not already following this band, please click on that link on this description under the word party and follow these guys. They are fucking amazing, a fun band playing, what do you say, conscious reggae music?
Yeah, I mean, it's all, our lyrics are all conscious. It's straight conscious stuff.
Awesome. And just such a good vibe and energy and flow. I just love everything that you guys are doing. What is next for you guys?
Trying to get an album banged out. Well, actually, I got a single that's almost done. We're going to release just kind of a standalone single because it's been too long since we released anything. And then we're going to get in the studio and work on an album. We've done all the demos. Everyone's in the process. Like Nate, our drummer, he's playing the demo. We do the demo. We don't do the demo with drums. It's really just guitar, bass, and vocals. And then we give it to Nate so he can work up his parts. We didn't used to do that in the past, but with COVID and all that, it's like, we're gonna have to do some work individually before we can get together and do this. So once the rest of the band's up to speed, we'll get together, make sure the arrangements and the tempos are where we want, and then start recording and hopefully get done before the next millennium. So
what, do you guys have a studio there in Lawrence that you guys record at, or?
Yeah, we have Greg, our sax player, has a basement studio that we do a lot of the stuff in, especially the drums. And then I repurpose part of the house when it's time to record, and I build a vocal booth, and we'll record guitar tracks and bass tracks and vocals here, and then do the drums and hand percussion and horns over at Greg's. So kind of between a real studio and my house, we find ways to get it done.
Awesome. How fun. What do you think last year taught you?
Anything can happen. Like, and we all know anything can happen, but in our world, anything can happen is illness, injury, like pandemic. Like that's not like we got, on this planet, we've seen little hotspots of like SARS and Ebola, but like a worldwide pandemic, like there's nobody alive right now that can remember the last time there was a pandemic. So like none of us were really thinking of that. None of us thought, yo, you know what? Venues might shut down for like a year or a year and a half. And what are you going to do? Because this is how you do your thing. And it makes you think about industries. I know so many people in the food service, bartending, who got into those businesses because they are recession proof. And no matter what's going on with the economy, people are going to want to go have a drink. People will want to go out to restaurants and eat. If you're a bartender, if you wait tables, and if you don't like your job, go across the street. There's another one there. Like, this is a great business to be in until all that stuff is closed. And you're looking at your friends going, man, like they're going to lose their home because the thing that they've done their whole life, they can't do. And we see that not just in those industries, but other industries affected by the pandemic. Musicians, venue owners, people who run sound, people who, all the other people who go out on tours with bands. It's not just the 4 or 5 people you see on stage. There's a lot of people feeding their families on this, and a lot of other industries. And to think that that could be taken away from all of us that easily is like, man, that's what I learned is like, shoot, there was stuff I wasn't even thinking about. And here we are. So I learned how to try to make lemonade out of lemons.
And it looks
start a podcast. Yeah, let's start a podcast. Sure. I can start a podcast.
You're fucking rocking and rolling, and I love what you're doing. And it's not easy, man. You gotta like take yourself out of your comfort zone and just like put yourself out there, and you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with any of this. It wouldn't bother me too much to be a hermit. Like I could, like, I still love my friends. I'd want to see them, but like, I'm not super outgoing, party all night. Like that's not really me. And the one quality I do have is sometimes I just kind of shrug and go, I'll try that. I'll try a podcast. Like if I have anything, it's the guts to embarrass myself. It's like the willingness to like say, this might be a tremendous failure. This band might be a tremendous failure because of what I choose to do with it. I might be a failure as a podcaster. It's like, whatever. I'm gonna try to be a success as a human being. But if I fail on all that stuff, I guess at least I had the guts to try, as bad as it is. And I'm not a natural at any of this. I'm not a natural musician. I'm not a natural singer. I'm not like, I've had to work for everything but like the tiny bit of guitar I can play, the tiny bit of like my voice resembling like an actual singer, like all that stuff. Like I had to work just to get it where it is. I'm not what you would call talented. So I compensate by just, guts. Just go up there and embarrass yourself. Just go on and do this.
Okay, you are really way too humble. I think that you're amazing at everything that you do, and give yourself a little bit more credit there, Jay.
Nah.
Oh my gosh, I had a thought when you were talking, and I completely lost my train of thought. But oh yeah, you don't know unless you try. How the fuck would you know whether you were going to be successful or not if you didn't try? And you tried and you fucking did it, and you're killing it.
Yeah, so I'm a big Wile E. Coyote fan, and like, how he didn't fall until he looked down, and that's kind of my philosophy is I just don't look down. So I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? Just go and do stuff. Go and try stuff. If it's something you want to do, if you've never gone bungee jumping, but you really want to go, like, just do it. Like, I'm not going to do it, but I will be there and I will have your back and I will cheer you on. And I'll be like, you have my full moral support, but you're not tying that thing around my ankles. But whatever it is in life, it's like, just do it. It could be, I have failed at everything. My entire, other than my personal relationships, which are hugely, and I'm grateful that I've been so successful. My friends, my family is the greatest people in the world. But like the things that I've done in my life, I've failed at all of them. And I'm not sure that I've ever really succeeded that much at any of them. But like whatever, I got to do something, right? Like, what am I going to do? Just sit around all day and stare at the ceiling? No, I'm going to just try some stuff.
Well, you know, you'd be surprised. A lot of people do just sit around all day and stare at the ceiling. I try not to, but sometimes I do.
But that's all right if it's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's all right. You know, I like the constant creativity. I love spending an hour talking to somebody I really like. It's like that's where I find the beauty in life is in people and in music and screaming at my sports teams when they mess up, which they always do. They always mess up. So, you know, that's how I choose to spend my life.
It's a great plan. Let's see who is in the comments over here. Of course, we got Mama Cantu. Lindsay, thank you for dropping that link to Streetlevel Uprising. Everybody, please go over there right
Thank
now.
you, Lindsay.
Or after this interview, click that like button. It is a free way to support your homies.
Yeah,
got
really.
Teresa in the house.
I'm terrible at asking for money. Like, so I'm never gonna like buy my album. Like, I have such a hard time with that. I'm a terrible self-promoter. So I'm not gonna ask you for money, but if you do want to like our Facebook page and the Instagram Streetlevel J, that's the type of thing you can do to help us that I'm always gonna appreciate.
We have people asking for a song. I don't know. Do you have your guitar? I actually ask you if you would play music for us tonight, so it's totally cool if you're not ready.
I can. Do you ever have problems with Facebook shutting down the feed?
No.
With people playing stuff?
Mm-mm.
Because man, I've had that problem before where like not with my own stuff, but when I do like, try to have other people, sometimes it gets shut down. I'll play a tune if you want me to. I'll grab it.
I mean, we would love to hear you. Absolutely.
All right. Give me 10 seconds. I'll run right back.
Sure. Yeah. What's up, Jason Richard? Thank you for hanging out. Michelle Richards, what's up, girl? Susan Lane, hello, Mama Lane in the house. Who else we got in here? All the fam bam. Thank you guys. I love you all so much. You all make my world complete. I hope you know that. This is the 4th night in a row that I have gone live, and I appreciate you all so much. Lindsay, you are the #1 stunner, girl. My mom says, I will support you, son. I can't wait for the CD. Oh, Ma, you're so sweet.
There we go. All right, so I'll play something. Play a tune called the Pendulum Swing, which was on our 2nd album. But it's a good tune to kind of represent the whole catalog, you know what I mean? So I'll play it. It takes a spark, start a fire, a blaze of rage, to ignite a riot. It takes one stone to start a foundation, dream an idea to shake a nation. Yes, we the victim of our greedy neighbor, hands and backs for our votes, money and labor. Whoa, our votes, violence, money and labor. Oh, so we'll spin the thing around, and when we come up, they kick us to the ground. Hoping this time maybe we'll stay down. But still we rise up, we will always rise up. Set it to motion to tumble down, pendulum swing brings it all back around. Again and again, yeah, we will rise up. Ali never stayed on the mat. When they made them give him his title back, took away his means but not his will to fight. Instead of shock down the system when he spoke up for rights. It only takes one to stand against iniquity. Small axe will topple the heaviest tree. Whoa, oh, small axe will topple any tree. So we'll chop it down, and when we come up, they kick us to the ground. Oh, but this time we won't hang around. But still we rise up, we will always rise up. Come on forward, we go ever, backwards never. Forward we go ever, backwards never. Moving forward, up and over, we must get over. Forward we go ever, backwards never. Come on, rise up. We must rise up. Rise up. Come on, stand up. Yeah, rise up, rise up. We must rise up. Rise up, rise up. Come on. And we'll burn it down. And when we come up, they kick us to the ground. Oh, but this time maybe we'll stay down now. Still we rise up, yeah. We will always rise up, yeah. Set it to motion to tumble down. Pendulum swing brings it all back around. Again and again, yeah. We will rise up.
Hercules. Oh my God, I could not stop smiling during that song. Wow. Oh my God, Jay.
I'm glad you liked it. Thank you.
Everybody actually loves it. You're giving them the chills. Everybody loves this song. Thank you
y'all are awesome. Thank you for the kind words, everyone. That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for jamming out for us. That was a really special treat.
Yeah, no worries.
When I was going through your music earlier, I see that you wrote a song for me before you even knew me.
I was wondering if you were gonna see that. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. I did. Before I had even heard of you or seen you or anything, I wrote a song for you. Isn't that great?
I'm telling you, it's a small world. Yeah, I have that effect on people.
I got ESP. I knew I was going to meet you one day and I'd have that song ready for you. So yeah.
So everybody go to YouTube and check out Sunshine Music. Is that what it's called? Sunshine Music?
Sunshine Music, yeah.
Sunshine Music by Streetlevel Uprising. You will not be disappointed. Everything that these guys write and put out is fucking so much fun, and it's such a good message and such a good vibe.
Thank you.
100%. 2 thumbs up. Woo, woo, woo!
I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time so much. I appreciate everybody tonight that's been hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So next, we'll be waiting for your single and your EP to drop.
Yeah, the single should be, I think April. Yeah, next month the single should come out, and then the album. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey. The best thing is that we have all the time in the world, right?
Yeah, we certainly do. We certainly do.
All the time in the world. All right, guys. Shit. I guess we're going to start wrapping this up. I will drop the link to the podcast and the YouTube link when we are out of here. I will also drop everything that I can so that you guys can go and support this man. Do you have merch that you're selling, Jay?
We do. I'm pretty low. Like the 2020 also took away a lot of the finances for getting more merch. And like we've gotten to the point where before we took our break, because we usually take a break in the winter. We don't play shows in the winter. It's cold here. We don't do that. Me and Bill are from Florida. We don't play shows in the winter.
Wait.
Yeah, we don't do that.
What?
Yeah, we don't do that. We don't we don't do that. It's I've done it like down south. Like I did a solo tour last winter down south. Like I'll do that, but like I don't like being cold. I don't like driving on ice. So we kind of, up until now anyway, our whole thing has been like we'll play from like March through November, and then like the December, January, February, yeah, we're not usually out. Every once in a while, but no, we pretty much don't do that. It's
Jay goes into hibernation, everybody.
We do. We absolutely do. So yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Everything is just fucking phenomenal. You put a lot of love and effort and time into your music, and it definitely shows. Thank you for everything that you're doing and contributing to this musical community that we have. And thank you for contributing such positive messages.
Yeah, I could say all that same stuff to you now, couldn't I? So there you go.
Michelle is saying, tell everyone to join the Street Levelers. Is that a group that you guys have?
Yeah, it's a group that they started for me because I'm so like Facebook inept and like the group thing, like I didn't really understand it. So they're like, you got to do this. It's like, okay. So they were kind enough to help me with that. Michelle and Teresa were kind enough to help me with that. Street Levelers, we do have a group now along with our Street Level Uprising page. So yeah, cool. Stop by because I do love talking to people. I do all of our social media. So anytime you're talking to anyone for Street Level, you're talking to me. Come talk to me. I love, like, people is the whole reason I do this anyway. So come hang out. I don't like the word fans. Like, Street Level doesn't have fans. If there's anything about us that you dig, then we're friends. We should just be friends and not like have separation of fans and stuff like that, right? We're just buds, and come hang out with us.
Oh, you are so fucking badass, dude. Thank you so much once again for everything. Just keep doing you, man. You are on this fucking, like, you're going straight up, dude, straight up, and there's nothing that's going to stop you to bring you down. And don't ever forget that.
All right, I will. I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna choose to believe you because I respect you. I respect you, and I don't think, like, you haven't said anything yet that's wrong. Like your movie choices are good, your music choices are good. So Sunshine can't steer me wrong.
Well, and you know, let's not forget I have an underground bunker for Donnie Wahlberg. Okay.
That is, but I'm not gonna broadcast that because I don't want to get you in trouble.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I do appreciate that.
I'm gonna keep that between us.
Okay. Just between me and you, nobody else. Don't let nobody else know, okay?
No. It's just us.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, man. On that note, everybody, you guys stay safe out there. Be kind and keep rocking and rolling. Until next time, we will see you guys. Did I repeat myself? I feel like I did, but it's okay because here we don't judge.
It's all great. It's all great to me. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you, everybody, for paying attention. And one love. Much appreciation.
Bye, Jay. Thank you so much.
Bye.